All right, guys. Our next one is on our first test, our translations we're going to do. Our first geometry movement is going to be our slides and our translations. And when we do these, what happens is you take a figure, and it doesn't have to be a triangle, but I have two triangles here in front of us. You take that triangle and you slide it, and you move it to a certain point. The object doesn't rotate, it doesn't flip, it just moves in a straight line. It could be a diagonal line, it could be whatever, but it just moves. So we're going to show you how to do this here. There are two ways to show a translation, or that a translation is going to happen. One is the book will give you a translation coordinates, and one it will give you an arrow, and I'm going to show you both ways. So the first one that we're going to do is actually a translation with coordinate points. The translation I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to move this 4, -3. So I'm going to take this shape and move all the points 4, -3. And what we have is we're going to take, let's start with A. A, if I move it 4, remember our x-axis is first, I would move it 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I would move it down 3. This will become my new A coordinate, and we mark that by putting a little dash over the top, and that is A prime. When we go to B, it is the same thing. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that'll be here, but we also have to remember we have to go down 1, 2, 3, and this would be our new B coordinate. Put the dash over top, that is B prime. For C, 1, 2, 3, 4, down 3 would put us right here, C prime. Now, using your ruler, do as I say, not as I do, you make your new triangle, and you have successfully slid that triangle now for -3. I'm going to work on this one now. I'm going to give it a different sort of translation. I'm going to use a line. So when you see this in your textbook, you will see something like this. And it will be a straight line, I apologize. But you're being asked to move it the same amount as is on the line. And if we look, we know it's going to the right, and we know it's going up. You would start with the part of the arrow that doesn't have the arrow on the end, the stick, and it goes up and to the right. How many up and to the right? If you look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our first slide coordinate will be 6 along the x-axis, and up 1, 2. So this is going to be a translation of up or over to the right 6 and up 2. We have to watch when we're doing these because shapes start to overlap with each other, but it's not an issue as long as you take your time. So we're going to start with our first one here. We're going to take Y, and we're going to move it over 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to move it up 2. That puts us right on our x-axis. That is not a problem whatsoever. We put Y, and we put the symbol above it to show it's prime and to show it has been moved. When we take O, no problem. We're going to go 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And up 2. 1, 2. There is our new O coordinate. Call it O prime. And our last one, U. 1, 2, 3. Don't forget the axis. 4, 5, 6. Up 2. There's our new U prime. And you take your ruler. You draw it out. And there is your original triangle, YOU, translated 6-2, but it was given to you as an arrow in your text. All right, so you can see I switched pages here and done a little bit different. I've done 2 shapes, and they're over top of the axis, and it doesn't matter how they look, they slide and translate the exact same way. You can see the one on the left is a triangle, and it has translation points that wants to move you 10 and 6. And you can see the shape on the right, I don't quite know what to call it, but it's a shape with 4 points, and beside it is a translation line telling that it wants to go up and to the left. Remember, look at where the arrow is and you'll know which way you're going. So we're going to do the first one on the left. Do the triangle. We're going to move A, B, C, and we're going to move it a total of 10 and 6. Doesn't matter what point you start on, as long as you take those points the same each time. So I'm going to start with A. I'm going to move it over 10. 10 is a positive number. I will be moving to the right. I'm in the negatives right now, but I will be moving to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that tells me that this A is going to be right on the y-axis. I'm also going to move it up 6. What that shows me is that my new A point, denoted as A prime, will be right at the origin, which is 0, 0. I'm going to take my B coordinate now, and I'm going to move it 10, 6. It doesn't matter what the coordinate was. You don't even need to know what it was. We just know we're going to move it 10, 6. So when we move it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's 10 to the right, and we're going to move it up 6. And as we know, that'll be on the x-axis right there. So there's our new B coordinate, and that one's B prime. The last one we have to move is C. Same setup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that will be our new C coordinate, C prime. You don't have to put all these dots on there. I'm just doing it so you can see on the little video what this is looking. Now I am freehanding this because it takes too much time to get the ruler out on this smartboard, but you are to use your rulers. These are to be neat figures. Our next one, we're going to use the translation line, and we're going to move B-I-K-E, and we're going to move it over. What we have to do is determine what this is telling us to do. Remember, our x or our coordinate points always has the x value first. So if we start at the bottom and we go to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's asking us to move this -4 because to the left is negatives. Then we go from the bottom to the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's asking us to move 4 up. So this translation line is really saying take all of these points and move it over -4, +4. So I'm going to do that in the only color I haven't used, and that's black, and I'll start with B. If I take my B coordinate and I move it over 4 to the left, that would make it here, and 4 up would put me right here. I label that B prime. With letter I move it over 4, that puts me right on the y-axis right here, and then I move it up 4, which would put me right here, and I label that somewhere where I can see it, I prime. K, which is up here, I'm going to move 4 to the left, and up 4, which would put K prime right there. And lastly, E, I'm going to move 4 to the left, and up 4, when that would put E prime right there. And don't worry that these things are all starting to go over top of each other. You won't put more than 2 questions or so on a coordinate plane, and as long as you label it, we'll be able to see all of the different lines. And some people, the organized people that really are visual, they will actually do them in colors just like I've done. Okay, so we're on our last little bit. I know we've been listening for about 9 minutes. I want to give you a chance to take a swing at this, and we'll take our little note tomorrow and do some work. But I want you to take a look at this. What I'd like you to do is, for homework, draw yourself a coordinate plane just like this one. And in any section, what I'd like you to do is, sorry about that, that someone come to the door. What you need to do is put a 3-point shape in any section to start. And I'm just going to do a triangle. I'm drawing mine freehand. Remember, I'm doing that because I It takes too long for me to get the ruler out, but not for you. I'm going to label it ABC. And what I have to do is determine, I'm going to take a guess, and I'm going to try to see what it would take to move this triangle ABC, to each of the other three sections. I want to move it enough that it is completely in another section. Now, it is not a problem normally when a shape crosses the X or Y axis and is in the middle of it. But for this little exercise, for this little thing, I want you to take a shot at putting it totally in each section. So what you have to determine is how far will I have to move this shape ABC to put it over here. And I'm going to do the first one for you, and they're all different, and yours will not be the same as your neighbor's tomorrow. Even your triangle, your three pointed shape, will not be the same as your partners or your desk partners. But I'm going to take a guess that I'm going to move this to the right, and if I'm going to move this to the right, I'm going to have to move a good distance. I'm going to try 9. Now, I could go 9, 0 and keep it right on the same plane, but I'm going to try 9 and down 2. If I do this, I'm going to just try it with 1 first and see how it goes. So I'm going to start with A. I'm going to move it over 9 points to my right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and up to, well, so far that is in the right spot, but it's B that I'm going to have to be concerned about. If I move B 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that'll put me on the y-axis. And remember, part of this, what I actually do is to make sure that it wasn't crossing over onto any line. So I'm going to have to change this one. This one won't work. Now I'm going to try 10 to. Start with my A again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Beautiful. And if I raise it 2, I would move that point A to there, and that would be my new A prime. When I take B now, it should go all the way into that section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. There's my B prime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's my C prime. Join them together, and there's my new triangle. From here, I will have to create another translation ordered pair to get me down here. Or I could really try something different and try to get it all the way over to there. Remember, when you translate something, the new coordinates are prime. When you do this next one, it will be A double prime, and B double prime, and C double prime. And when you do the last one to get into the final coordinate, you guessed it, it'll be A triple prime, B triple prime, C triple prime. Good luck, try that out, and let me see what you have tomorrow.